Good afternoon and happy Wednesday. This is the first time we've done this on a Wednesday, Timmy.
Hey,
Um,
wait, where'd Ty go? Oh,
Sorry
hey,
to the audience out there.
yeah,
You're stuck with me
Ty
again.
has a he has a very he's a big following, just so you
There's
know.
a cult following. It's a cult
Mhm.
following.
No,
So
yeah,
we've
first Wednesday program. Here we go. Switching up a little bit.
yeah. So we've done these every Tuesday and Thursday over the last, what is this, number 12, Tim? Episode 12. We're gonna move it to once a week on Wednesdays. But the repository of all the last 12 episodes or 11 episodes are on our YouTube page. So we'll show you how to get to that. And we're sending out follow-on emails to direct you to that. So if you've missed one in the past, feel free to jump on to those. They're quick, 15, 20 minutes at the max. And no pun intended, that's what we're going to talk about today. Max ad. So
Yeah.
we've touched on certain aspects of max ad. There's me if you need my contact, but we've talked about, we've done an episode on the Max dashboard and some of the components in this, but we're going to really dive in today to the Max ad portion of it through the Max inventory. So Tim, why don't you show the folks on how to
Yeah,
navigate and
so
get to there?
yeah, like the Max dashboard is kind of like the what you're looking at to kind of just understand where the work is at. But the real heavy lifting inside Max happens inside Max inventory. So I get a lot of questions, or should I say, I know a lot of people who use this tool as their inventory management tool. If you're a UCM or a GSM and you're going in there and pricing, you can do all that stuff here. But initially, this was designed for the guy who does the merchandising. Your lot guy, if you have one of those who does photos and comments, and that's what this was initially designed to do. And I think it does a pretty good job of that, right? Um,
Yeah.
you'll notice the alerts that we talked about in the dashboard here are now in tab form. So you'll see here, it needs review, under each one of these tabs here has all of those sub jobs that need to get done. So here are cars with no trim or ads that need review. I'll talk about that in a minute. Cars that need to be priced. So you could do pricing in here. Either has zero price or needs to be repriced. It's a bucket jumper. All your merchandising alerts are here. So cars without packages, needs book out reviews, no Carfax, not online. I'm sorry, low online or low price comparison. And then this last one here is really critical. This is your photos tab. So there, your vehicles with no photos or low photos. So this kind of matches the Max dashboard here. So Patrick, is this quiz for you? What does the
Uh-oh.
need what does the need review tab mean? Do you remember?
I got to go in the Wayback Machine, but yeah. So those cars there, there's something something needs reviewed, and you can see the age of those vehicles. Um, More than likely, it means that the ad hasn't been gone through and created. You notice that it's the same amount of number as the need pricing. So if you look under the internet price, you can see those are all zeros. So you can actually knock out a lot of the stuff under the needs review. Um, I think the daily to do when you come in, the game that we're playing is to get these as close to zero as possible, and then we know that our alerts are in good step. I really like the merchandising alerts, to be honest with you, because a lot of times you'll see aged inventory in there that could possibly be spruced up a bit with package information. If you're like in this particular case, we're in a Lexus store, maybe they have a GMC Denali on the lot and it didn't pull the packages over because they don't have a sister store with a GM product. So, those tabs, just like Tim said, on the home page, they directly correlate to that. And we separate them so you can knock them out as you go. You
Yeah.
want to click
So
into one of those?
yeah, hold on. One little trick or one thing I want to make sure people are aware of. Up top here, you can filter by used or new or both. All right, not a lot of people know that. And then, depending upon which inventory you're in, you can show all the inventory or the approved inventory. So this would be the inventory. Approved is what we're sending out online or to your web distributor. And then offline would be the cars
Yeah.
that we're not sending to your web provider. Okay, Hendrick locations use the exemption feature that we have, not related to a lot of people, not a big
Can
deal.
you go into that offline for a second?
Mhm.
So there's many different reasons why you wouldn't have a vehicle online, right? Maybe you're waiting on a title, or it's going through the shop and you just don't want to put it online yet. But let's say that you have a handful of cars that you need to put online, and you don't want to go through each one individually. There are some bulk actions that you can do. So under that tab right there, you would check off the ones that you want to send online, and then you would
Just
just
say bulk
simply,
cars here, yeah.
yep. So you simply go down there and put mark online, and it'll push it online. And you can also do that with your approved inventory. So let's say something's going to the auction and you want to, take it off your website because maybe you sold it today at the auction. You can quick and easily take it offline that way too. So I think, a lot of people utilize that, depending on where the car's at, what's happening with the car, or what the certain, parameters are around that vehicle.
You want to take a look at a specific vehicle?
Sure, you got one?
All right, so this search box up here in the top right, it's pretty fuzzy. It works pretty good. I'm going to type in a 2018 GMC. That happens to be what we're going to look for today. And you'll notice how
There
it
it is.
pulls up just that unit, all right, that you're looking for, regardless whether it's online or offline. And to view the details, so Patrick covered all of those like actions that needed to get done. You'll notice here, actions required, this is blank. And so this vehicle actually doesn't require any actions. It's fully, according to us, it's fully merchandised. But let's just go in there because I think it's a really good example of a car, and we can kind of walk through some of the features of Max Add. So what do you like to go to first here, Patrick? What do you say, frameworks? Talk about frameworks?
Yeah, frameworks, or if this car wasn't completely, if all the actions weren't taken care of already, where it
Okay.
says needs action, you see all those green checklists.
Yeah.
What I usually tell our dealers is, if you have a red X there, that means that some sort of action is required on that vehicle. So you can see that this individual has gone through and put all the packages on the vehicle, whether it was through our auto load or they went in individually and did it. Make sure the car is booked out, because that actually transfers into the ad description. You can see in the preview, it says $1,400 below NADA. If that vehicle wasn't booked out, we wouldn't know what it had on it. So to show that value Tim and I always use our moms as an example. When my mom's searching online and she sees that preview and she sees that it's $1,400 below NADA, she thinks she's getting a good deal, right? And it's all about perceived value. Carfax, most of you have the automatic Carfax pull on, so a lot of times that's already done for you. Key information, go ahead and click on that. So this person has gone in and added a bunch of check boxes. We have some standard ones on there, but if there's something that you do unique at your dealership, where you put you have your own safety inspection or your own 131 point inspections, or whatever, or the free car washes for life, whatever it is, you can add that quick and easily to each car just by checking the box.
Here's what I like to tell people. Key information is a place where, one, if you find yourself wanting to put specific text around a vehicle into the ad, we can do that for you here automatically. Two, if there's only things about a vehicle, right? Like he said, new tires, new brakes that you want to put in the description, we can do that for you here. Yeah, these guys did a pretty good job. I've seen as many as 100 in here. I really like the one that says about 60K. So this probably means they did the 60K service on the Lexus. So it probably throws that content in. Let's just see. Right? So we would select that. Notice how the regenerate ad button comes red up here. So if we wanted to get that text thrown into the ad, right, we would hit the regenerate back, and there it goes. It throws it in there. Let's see if we can find it. No. Oh yeah, 60K major service done right here. Boom. Has been all been done.
There you go.
So like there's value there. I would imagine, especially for a Lexus.
Tim, do you have any clients that go in and actually kind of write their own jargon in there?
Yes. So I got a guy here in Wilmington. He buys a lot of custom lifted trucks, and he's always wanting to add that sort of information specifically either in the preview or maybe in the second box. And you'll notice here where I'm putting, clicking on, if I put my mouse into the this paragraph, it grays out and you hit edit. And this is where you can start to like type your own text. So, custom lift. I don't know, what's a custom
35-inch super swampers.
35? All right, what the heck is that? Oh, super swampers?
Yeah, they're tires. They're tires.
Okay, 35-inch big tires. There you go. You guys get the idea, right? Notice
Hey,
how it goes red here.
I grew up in Florida in the sticks, all right? So
Okay, yeah. Notice how it turns red. What that means is that we're going to lock that text. And if we were to regenerate the ad, it will stay there for you, okay? Because this is custom text, if you wanted to refresh the next time you came through, you would hit unlock here. So I'm not going to put on there because I don't think that this car has super swampers, but you get the idea.
It'd be pretty cool if it did. So you mentioned frameworks, Tim. Once you run the folks through frameworks and what that actually means.
Yeah, so every time that you run an ad, price a car in either First Look or Max, we're going to automatically generate a very simple ad here, basic ad for you. Patrick kind of went through the action that needs to get required to kind of make the second level ad. The framework, we'll set a framework automatically for all of your vehicles, but let's say that you happen to do a lot of trucks with super swampers on them, and you want to like create a framework that tells about your dedication to selling that inventory and servicing it right, and the all the things that you do, especially around selling lifted trucks. We could create a framework for you that does that. Or maybe you're selling a minivan. We want to talk about all the safety features, so you might select family enhanced. Or
Cup
like
holders.
this cash car, this is going to talk about the great price or the value versus the book. So if you're in the system and you want to play around with the frameworks, get in there and see what it does to your ads. You'd be surprised. It'll make things look real fresh without having to do a whole bunch of typing.
Yeah. Now to shift gears a little bit, if you scroll back up, we're gonna add from our VIN explosion and also the proprietary database that we have of information about each one of these cars. We're gonna add the equipment and the options. But if it's something that you want to go in and review, or maybe there was a aftermarket DVD installed and you don't want to type it in, you just want to add it as equipment. There's a couple tabs inside of this approval page. So if you go to equipment, this will show you the things that we have added to this car based upon what we know is on this. But you can go through. It's just like booking out the car during an appraisal process or when you're booking it out for NADA or Black Book. Same concept here. So if we may have missed something or just something you want to add something that we didn't catch, you can go ahead and do it there. Same with options. So options, this Lexus store, he went in here and he looked and he said, all right, it has these different option packages if we didn't load it for him manually. But Tim, if you scroll down, these are the ones that are in the ad description, but is there any more? So there's some other additional option packages that could be on this car. We're not saying that they are, but we give you the option package code, and then also the description of what's in that particular package. And what I like the most is the original MSRP value of that package when that car was brand new, because that's going to push not only into your ad description, but it's going to push to your digital showroom. And we talked a few episodes ago about selling the value. And if this particular truck has $9,000 worth of additional option packages from a base model and it's priced $1,400 below Kelley Blue Book, should we be discounting our price? Selling based on evidence versus price.
Photos. So we pull in photos.
Mm-hmm.
We can pull in photos from, if you use a lot service, like, I don't know who's out there, Excite, all sorts of guys, or if you want to upload photos through us. Oops, nice, we got a little error here. You'd be able to see the photos here. Obviously, we've talked many times today, in this show about this pricing. So you can toggle to the pricing screen. And then we come all the way back to where the approval, that's kind of where we started today. That's the description.
One thing to note on here, Tim, if you do make a price change here, if you scroll down a little bit, you can update your price and add right from here. So if in this case we're, you know, $1,400 below NADA, if we change the price by $200-300, it'll update that text inside the ad description and just approve it, and it sends it out in the next data feed, which is pretty consistent throughout the day.
So to wrap up, to kind of sum it up, when you come into Max Ad, all your to-dos, you know, if you're the merchandising guy, kind of live right here. And I like to tell everybody, if you did everything you were supposed to do on every one of these cars every day, you shouldn't have to do much as the car ages. But you can check either the Max dashboard or these buckets on where to take action, right? And remember that if you do make changes to any of the ads here, you're going to need to regenerate the ad, okay, that the red box in the top right, and then you're going to need to approve the ad. And I go into that because, Patrick, we have a question here from Scott. It's a pretty good one. He says, does that take after the overnight refresh? And the answer is yes. So any changes that you make and you hit approve, right, we store that in Max, and depending upon how many times we send out to a particular provider, right, it'll go out in the next export, right? And then obviously when it shows up on that particular website would depend on how often that website provider or third-party listing site processes it, okay? Could be a couple hours or a day, you know,
So Tim, I have something to close on. I see I'm wearing a collared shirt today with our Max logo, but you're wearing a t-shirt. Does that t-shirt have any significance to you?
No, just the first one I grabbed out of my Iron Man t-shirt pile.
Well, why don't you tell everybody you've done an Iron Man before?
I've done 2.
You've done 2 Iron Man, so
yeah.
I'm a better person for knowing you for that. So.
Well, so like, you know, I'm trying to stay motivated. You know,
I have not done any Iron Man.
Got the quarantine 15 going on. So.
All right.
Hey, great. This was a really good episode. So next Wednesday, 2:00. What's the deal? I don't know. We'll figure something out.
We'll figure something out to talk about. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day and stay safe.
All right. Take care.